Barking is just something dogs do. Dogs bark for all kinds of reasons. When they're happy, when they're sad. And it's not always a bad thing. But when a dog barks inappropriately, it can be pretty frustrating. Sure, you want your dog to bark at strangers, but you don't want him to bark at everything. How do you draw the line? You've taken the first step with the purchase of your new bark control collar. It's the humane and effective way to correct even serious barking problems. With your bark collar and some of the training techniques in this video, you'll be able to teach your dog that it's okay to bark, just not all the time. The PetSafe bark control collar is a vital part of any comprehensive training program. Whichever bark collar you have, it will be most effective if used in combination with traditional bark prevention techniques. Training your dog will take some time and commitment on your part. Basically, good dog training is about always sending your dog a clear message. For instance, if you laugh at him when he barks at the mailman, you can hardly blame him for barking when anyone else arrives. Letting him clearly know what is expected of him will help you both avoid frustrating confusion. Your new bark control collar is the most effective way to prevent excessive barking. When you want to control your dog's barking, put the collar on. And when it's okay for him to bark, simply take the collar off. But you still have to train your dog. Before you begin using your new bark collar, be sure to read the operations and training manuals carefully. This will help answer any questions you may have about the collar and its proper use. Once you've read the manuals thoroughly, you're ready to begin. After reading the operations and training manuals, get your pet accustomed to wearing the bark control collar before he receives any correction. Pick a treat your dog likes as a reward. Make sure that they're not too big, as he's going to get several. Check that your collar is in the off position. If your model doesn't have an on-off switch, remove the battery. Keeping the collar inactive is important because it teaches him not to fear the collar. On day 1, show your dog the bark control collar and let him smell it. Then give him a treat. Next, have your dog wear the collar for 2 hours, rewarding him with physical praise and some treats. On day 2, have your dog wear the collar for 4 to 6 hours. Again, the collar should be inactive. Reward him with physical praise and a few treats. By day 3, your dog will be accustomed to the collar, and you can begin training with the active collar. But no matter how comfortable he is with the collar, it should never be worn for more than 8 hours at a time. Now, every dog reacts differently to his first correction. Some yelp, some run and hide, some simply stop barking. It depends on the dog. If you feel your dog's not acting appropriately, simply redirect him with an obedience command he knows, such as sit or stay, or to any other behavior that calms him and lets him focus on you. Once you're comfortable with the way he's reacting, start incorporating the bark collar into your daily routine. When using your new bark collar, there are a few simple things you can do to enhance the training process. Always make sure your dog gets enough exercise. Dogs often bark to release excess energy. The amount of exercise your dog needs depends on factors like breed and age. But whatever his breed, if your dog constantly races around the house, it's a pretty good bet he's not getting enough. So take him outside more, and be sure to vary his environment. Dogs, like people, get bored with being in the same place all the time. A change of scene will help him relax. Take him to the park. If you have a fenced-in yard, let him out to enjoy the sunshine. Or try canine aerobics. Just toss a ball up the stairs or up a hill at the park for the best workout there is, playing fetch. Dogs travel in packs naturally. By instinct, they crave company. They're not used to being alone, so give your dog more time to play with other dogs. Take him over to friends' houses that have dogs or to the park. If your dog barks when left alone, limit those things that cause him to bark. Block windows he normally looks out of. Keep him in a crate, away from street noises and outside distractions. And be sure to give him something to chew on or play with to help keep him occupied and interested. Now, if you find he's barking because he's upset about being left home alone, teach him not to bark by leaving for short periods of time. Walk out the door and return almost immediately and reward him if he's been quiet. Now he'll begin to understand that if he's quiet, he'll get a reward. If he barks, however, don't discipline him, just ignore him. Once he quiets down, reward him again. Disciplining him when you walk in will only confuse him and cause him to bark more when left alone. Keep doing this, waiting longer and longer to return, and don't forget to always reward him for being quiet. Although, after the first few days, you may want to cut back a bit on the treats. A good boy and some enthusiastic petting makes a good substitute. So let's review. Make sure to read the operations and training manuals before using the bark collar. Then let your dog get used to the collar before he receives any correction. When you activate the collar for the first time, stay a while to make sure the collar is functioning properly. Have your dog wear the collar whenever you don't want him to bark. When it's okay to bark, take the collar off. And don't forget to reward him when he's quiet. Positive reinforcement can be as effective as negative reinforcement, and it's fun to give. When using a bark control collar, remember that it's part of a total training program. It's not meant to replace exercise, social interaction, and basic obedience. Now you know everything you need to start training. You can solve annoying behavior problems with love, patience, and understanding. Don't be discouraged, just stand firm and the results will speak for themselves.
If you have any other questions about your new bark control collar, please email us at info@petsafe.net or visit our website at www.petsafe.net.